Oh, hi. You know how in Pinball FX3 you can turn the screen vertical, like so? Amazing. Pretty cool feature they put in here. Well, I decided I wanted to try to build a mini pinball machine for the Switch. And this is the first step to getting there, so I'll show you how this works. Switch it to vertical, drop it in here, into the dock, and then, voila, it works. Buttons work. I can resume my game here. There's no analog plunger, obviously. This is a Switch, so you hold this down as long as you want to shoot the ball. Yeah, it totally works. I'll show you how I got the buttons mapped, but just to show you that I'm actually doing this. It's got nudge. We're switching sides with the ball. So the way this is set up is, this is Amazon Prime Pinball. I've got these cheap buttons that I bought off banggood.com. This whole thing cost $11 for the buttons and a PCB I ended up not using, and then $14 for the crappiest Nintendo Switch controller I could find so I could gut it. And I'll show you what I did. Come on over here, come take a peek. Hot Velcro action here. This is the first step. This is just to make sure the controls worked. I'm gonna build a cabinet for this thing. But this is just a weight, to give it some weight. I taped this down.
Is that my weight?
It is weight, it is your weight. At least I put a sock on it before I put tape on it, right? This is the PCB for the really crappy Switch controller. It glows blue. I would have thrown it away anyway. So why not just gut it and then wire everything up appropriately? This particular controller has a common ground, which means that I can just run each button's positive and then use a daisy chain for the ground, the black wire all the way around. Looks crappy because it is, and not a good solder or anything, but it works. So I've got these buttons mounted to my Amazon Prime box. It's amazing because they match the Prime tape, which is great. And this is a Switch controller, so you don't need a dongle or anything. You just plug this thing right into the dock and it just works. I built this matrix to figure out what button should go, we don't even worry about that, with what control in the game for Pinball FX3. I believe that Pinball Arcade is going to support vertical orientation soon. This won't work with nudging with Pinball Arcade because Pinball Arcade only supports analog nudging with the analog sticks, and it's really hard to wire analog sticks. It's best to just try buttons.
It really is.
This is the layout. This is the layout. The front, I've got pause. So this is the pause button. It's basically the start menu. This is the down button now, but I can also double wire it to control the camera, but I don't really need it. This is the B, this is back button for B. This is the A button and the plunger. And then I've got flipper right, flipper left, and then I've got nudge left. This will bump the table to the left, and this will bump the table to the right. Nudging's important in pinball, so those had to be there. So then over here, it's just wired HDMI to my monitor, and this is the Switch controller, and that's it. Oh, and I also tried wiring this with like one of those really cheap PCBs you buy to build fight sticks really cheaply. Did not work with the dongle I have to use my Xbox controller on here, so I had to buy a Switch controller. 15 bucks, who cares? So the goal is this thing should only be about the size of the monitor when it's built, because there's no computer guts. It's just a Switch. You could get a third-party dock for about 20, 30 bucks. And so you should be able to build a cabinet either out of foam core, cardboard, or wood, cheap wood, and then wire everything up permanently, and it should work fine. It sucks that some of the Zen tables are not available on Switch, and I really hope that the Pinball Arcade guys make it so nudge will work with the D-pad. If that happens, then this is like a full setup. Ideally, you'd have a little spot back here with a dock that sticks up so you can take your Switch, stick it on there, and then everything just sort of happens. Let me know if you have questions. Let's go play some pinball. Yeah, I guess I might as well play it a little bit, right?
Yes.
Just to show about menus. Up, down, this goes down, this goes up. And it's a little confusing because left and right, bump left is the left button, but it's on the right. So when you're navigating the menu, it's kind of weird, but it's okay.
Wow.
See the nudge work there. That's how that normally works. You get a nudge to save. I'm trying to think if there's any I didn't mention, but that's probably good enough. Works. Thanks.